Welcome back, and we are here with Brenden Lowe, founder and CEO of Jazz Piano School. How you doing today, Brenden?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Welcome, man. Thanks for coming down.
Thanks for being here.
So contrast the online learning experience with the piano to the traditional experience.
Oh, that's a good question. I actually get a lot of people criticizing me for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And because, they think, you need the live experience to actually learn something. And in this day and age, with technology, obviously, you can go on Google, you can learn about anything you want, right? So, when I have the live experience, obviously there's a personal connection, but with my online business, I put my personal connection into the videos, and everything's actually more structured in the website, as we'll get into, more so than in person, because they have all the charts there, they have all the information they need, and the education.
I want to take a guess at who might be criticizing you for going online. Who would be somebody who didn't like that? Would that be a competition?
Well, actually the competition is it shares my vision.
Okay.
Which is, spreading music education around the world for people who do not have access to it, like I was fortunate enough to do and go to college and get a jazz piano degree. And so a lot of people can't do that. Obviously, it takes a lot of money. It takes, travel, things like that. So to answer your question, most of the people going on there, I think, are people kind of, left behind or not catching up with the times of movement and change and education and what's going on with the world.
Are you a pioneer in this area?
I would like to think so, yes.
Is there anybody else doing online music lessons in the piano industry or in the piano segment of the market or in other areas?
Yeah, absolutely. You're seeing a lot of new education come up. Udemy, I don't know if you've heard of that website before. They have a lot of online classes and things like that. There is one or two other competitors to jazzpianoschool.com. But my main thing that is different about my website is that I went to college and for Jazz Piano School. And a lot of the education these days is like I'll film a video and I'll throw it up there and then someone can access it. Or I'll just film another video and throw it up there. I wanted to take the college experience that I had as far as a course curriculum and then turn it into a website that anyone could access and get that type of course curriculum, which is going to be step-by-step learning from, all the videos, all the instruction. So anyone has free reign to access that.
And is there any kind of certification that you get once you've completed the program?
Not yet, because actually the program's not done yet.
Okay.
So there's levels that are going on right now, and there's beginner, intermediate, and we're launching our advanced level probably in the next month or so.
So let's say I want to become a great piano player. Mm-hmm. How would you describe the online journey to becoming a great piano player?
Well, I don't want to say hard work, but hard work.
Okay.
Basically, it always comes down to yourself. So I'm providing the door, for people to walk through. And a lot of times it doesn't happen through studios and any other means necessary to learn jazz piano or music in general or any other craft. But I'm providing the door and the assistance and the support and the education for people to go online, discipline themselves to, being in this environment where you need to work at your craft every single day or else you're going to fail. It's like anything in life. So, and also obviously never give up. And so with that there for them and me constantly saying, hey, get on this, you got to do this, and the expertise that I bring as far as the skills and resources, people have that opportunity.
How difficult was it to start the business?
Oh, boy.
Because you talked about hard work and stick with it. It couldn't have been easy.
Not at all. So I had the site up for about a year or 2 years almost. I created the course just 2 years. So if you can picture me just as a mad scientist in my apartment, going to town, scribbling, writing 10 hours a day.
Yes.
I have my motivational signs up, don't stop, never give up.
Yes.
It's just, if you think about it, it's how can you grind away for something for 2 years and not see results? It's like what you were talking to John about. He hasn't seen revenue for 7 years or anything, but it's the drive within inside of you. So I created the course for 2 years, and finally I was able to release just the very beginning section of the course, not even the intermediate or advanced levels, which are coming. I just did the intermediate, and the advanced is coming as well. So it's been a long time, not to mention technical issues, the website, hiring web developers, all that good
But
stuff.
did you have another job, or did you just quit everything to work on this?
It was a transitional process. I've been in a lot of different fields. I love business. I was a personal trainer. I was a personal training manager. I did that when I got out of school to just make ends meet, because you're not going to make a lot of money as a musician. So
Yeah.
I was obviously teaching lessons on the side, doing gigs, but I got to pay bills. So I went into the personal training industry, tried real estate, tried multi-level marketing things. It's just like all over the place. And finally, my passion brought me to creating a business with music, right? Who would have thought, the thing I went to school for,
Passion.
why not create a business out of it?
How much of a blessing is that you're able to have a business where it's something you're passionate about versus just security cameras or something else that people are like, it's just a kind of a commodity type
Right.
thing in some respects. How is it to do that?
Oh, it's amazing.
You're
It's
helping
amazing.
people.
Yeah, and one of my future businesses that I want to create is actually obviously motivating people to create their own business through their passions. I mean,
really?
Yes, absolutely.
Very cool.
So, it took me 10 years to figure out, I love music and I love business. Why not put the two and two together? And I think a lot of people go into business thinking like, I just got to create something, that will make me money. Whereas like, just if you like fly fishing, create a business about fly fishing. If you like, running, create a business about running.
It took you 10 years to put that together, to decide that. What was there a light bulb that went off at that moment?
Absolutely.
What happened?
Absolutely. I was basically driving in my car and I wanted to provide music education. I'm teaching, I'd been teaching, doing piano lessons, gigs, things like that. And one of my students actually, he asked me, he says, Brenden, I've never seen the structure and motivation from a piano lesson that I do with you ever in my entire life with a teacher. And you need to share that with the world. And I was like, yeah, I do need to share this with the world. And so right then and there, I was like, how can I do that? And I loved, computers. I've always been a kind of a tech guy. So I was like, why don't I just put it on the internet? And then I found this whole online world of business actually, with a lot of people doing the same types of things, building businesses online, traveling, being just free from the daily grind, the 9 to 5. And I learned a lot about online business and websites. And so that's how it came to fruition.
Very great story. Brenden Lowe, CEO and founder of the Jazz Piano School, where you can do online piano lessons. And at some point, I'll be able to be an expert. I guess I better start at some point. But thank you very much for coming on the show. I want to thank you, Brenden. I also want to thank John Bissell of Micromidas, and thank our sponsor, Limitless Limo, who is doing wine tasting. It's wine tasting season coming up. It's right around the corner, so you need to get ready for that. Call Limitless Limo or get on the website, ll916.com. Next week, we will be hosting Dale Carlson, founder of, you guessed it, The Sleep Train. Coming up after the break, we will share some closing thoughts on innovative disruption and what disruption may mean to you. You're listening to Entrepreneurs Unlimited on Sports 1140 KHDK, streaming live, podcast, and YouTube on HaitiBiz.com. Welcome back. And we had a great show today. We've talked about some disruptors in the music industry and in the polyester industry, which is really not our normal, it's not what we normally think about in terms of building businesses. But let's talk about you for a minute. Let's talk about your career. Let's talk about what your career looks like for the next 12, 24, or 36 months. Does it look like a plateau? Or does it look like it's all downhill from here? Is there a career plateau in your future? And you got to think about that as entrepreneurs, guys. There's so many times when we are going through business and we're on fire. You could hear the way John Bissell was. You could hear the way Brenden Lowe are. These guys are driving their businesses right now. They are building things. But so many times in life, we hit these plateaus and we're just kind of going through the motions. So is it better? Okay, we talked about disruption today. And just on a personal level, is it better to disrupt or just kind of continue the status quo? I mean, if you're facing a plateau in your career, in your business, is it more risky to take a chance and go disrupt and make a major change, or is it more risky to just kind of put along on that plateau and wait for others to pass us? And maybe we just retire with a gold watch at the end of the journey. There's always that gold watch, right? I mean, it used to be, we talk about paths for awesomeness, right? The path to the gold watch. The traditional path to awesomeness is really this gold watch, right? You're in your 20s, you learn, you go to college, get your first real career job. And then in your 30s, you make some adjustments and you settle into that real career job. In the 40s, you kick butt, you take names, maybe miss the kids' Little League games. And then in the 50s, you harvest, right? You cruise into retirement, start taking some vacation time, the good life. And in the 60s, you grab that gold watch, baby. It's that gold watch. And you sit back, you guide others, and you invest in a rocking chair, right? That's kind of the traditional path. But, you know, as we've talked about today, innovation and disruption is happening faster and faster. Now, 20-somethings are disrupting early and often. They're becoming millionaires before they're 30 years old. Some of these guys are billionaires, right? Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. He got rich quick, gentlemen.
And he doesn't use a gold watch. He'll never need a gold watch because he has a clock on his phone.
Exactly.
Technology. It's changed.
So now the 30-somethings, the 20-somethings are doing incredible stuff. The 30-somethings, shoot, they're serving on multiple boards. They're running venture capital companies and doing all kinds of stuff. And the 40-somethings, they're doing well. They're cranking and building things. They're straddling the new and the old. And the guys like me, the 50-somethings, we're sitting here going, holy cow, do I get out of the way? This technology is coming, or do I step up and I learn? And so I just want to take a minute to say, I am learning. I'm signing up for CrossFit because I'm going to be here for another 50 years. And, you know, I got grandchildren and great-grandchildren, but I got so much to learn. So I want to thank these young guys, Clint, Marcus, my radio show team. Tom, you're not as young as some, but
not as young as anybody.
I think we have to, as 50-somethings, we've got to look to the millennial generation and say, hey, what can we take away? Because these guys are the guys that are changing technology, innovating, and disrupting. And I'll tell you what, I'm not going to sit in a rocking chair for the next 50 years in the harvest mode. I'm hoping that I can be relevant, that I can have a place at the table. And you know what? Maybe some of my old guy wisdom will rub off on some of you young guys a little bit. But more than that, I want to learn. I want to be a part of it. And together, we can build businesses. Take a little bit of us old guy wisdom, mix it with all the youth and the energy, and we could build some incredible things. And I think we can do some great things in terms of driving innovation right here in Sacramento. And you know what? What I've learned about 2016, there is no gold watch. The gold watch, we got to grab our own gold.
That's right.
The gold watch is over. We got to disrupt or we're going to get disrupted. Innovation, it's occurring too fast. So, I mean, I don't know where you're at with your plateau, but, I mean, have you ever seen a dog that loves to fetch? Right? You've seen that. You're out throwing the tennis ball, and there's a dog that just, he goes, and he goes, and he goes, and he won't quit. Right? You see those guys. That dog is motivated. That dog will not quit on you. It's like, man, your arm's getting tired. There's slobber all over the tennis ball, and you're still throwing it. You're like, come on, you know, Pooch, Chunks? Come on, Chunks.
I knew that
Slow
was
it down. But you know what? That dog, that guy's got some energy, right? And if you don't have something like that you are passionate about, like what Brenden Lowe is passionate about with his piano school.
Innovative, very
right?
innovative.
If you don't have that, then maybe you do need to disrupt yourself and do something a little bit differently. And I'm not saying you need to go get a new job. I'm not saying you need to go get a new career or a new business. Maybe you need to think about your business differently. Maybe you need to think about yourself and how you approach your job differently. And I think together, we can do that. Okay? We have to rethink our priorities. And I think if we do this together, we will make some disruption. We will create some great things. So let's not lay around and wait. Let's get there. And ladies and gentlemen, you are not alone. Never above you. Never below you.
Always by your side.